So what they're doing is transmitting the Navy's policy in the development of the training to the various program offices, and in trying to ensure that they know that this is not them saying it. This is a Navy policy that says you have to, you shall, you must give me the right training. And that was a very exciting thing for me, because when you have a customer that understands and knows the naval policies that drive training to the point of need, and wants to be involved, that's a good day. So that they have to train. So what they're doing is transmitting the Navy's policy in the development of the training to the various program offices, and in trying to ensure that they know that this is not them saying it. This is a Navy policy that says you have to, you shall, you must give me the right training. And that was a very exciting thing for me, because when you have a customer that understands and knows the naval policies that drive training to the point of need, and wants to be involved, that's a good day. So a lot of the instructors and administrators that I interviewed held that in high regard. And they also coupled number 5 with that. They were the quality control checkpoint. They wanted to be involved. They knew and know training to the detail that they said, you know what, we're involved in the process. And absolutely, 100% they're involved in the process. They may not be ISDers. They may only be instructors that have instructed and have a swath of experience, but they knew what worked, and they knew if they weren't the checkpoint, that the training could perform negatively. And so in their efforts to understand, and remember, these instructors and administrators are in a blended environment where they teach both instructor-centered and learner-centered, and they blend it, which transitions from instructor-centered to learner-centered in the ITTs, the integrated tactical trainers, or the bridge part task trainers. So they know about that, and that was really good. The number 8, again, talking about compliance, procedural compliance, providing real life high fidelity training systems in top of the line facilities. They really harped on the facilities and model. I think these sailors harped on it so much because we have both down here, down in San Diego. We have a new facility, and then you have the old aging facility on 32 on the dry side, which has projector screens, and they saw the high fidelity of that transition from one to the other, and they wanted to make sure that both of them matched, that they had the right facility infrastructure to house the systems themselves. And they thought that translated to, that has to translate to the platforms. So it's almost as if they were saying, you got these universities out there and schools of engineering and everything else out there that are in civilian sector that are doing all these things. We want to make sure that we're on par with those folks out there, that we can offer a high level of training in an environment that is aesthetically pleasing, but also not only aesthetically pleasing, but technically pleasing to the students, and is effective. So that was some of the discussion of those findings that centered around ready relevant learning. Are there any questions up to this point? Anytime, the implications are if the military leaders insist on training to critical art of the warfighter and do not address the barriers, which is what myself and Wayne were talking about. Do not address the barriers and factors that inhibit a high level of knowledge transfer, the outcome will be less than satisfactory for the missions to be met, and quite possibly could lead to loss of life and or equipment and damage. Additionally, a similar consequence exists for the private sector. education that support critical elements of society. So in a nutshell, these barriers were revealed as a major part of the findings. The recommendations are put out there for continue another study to be split from the themes. But as training support agents, it's incumbent upon us to take a look at the themed areas and see if there's something there for you that you could enhance where you sit. Doesn't have to wait for some edict to come out, some new study or anything like that. It's just this is a tool just like any other to say, okay, where can I